All right, guys. Hello, welcome to the Life Mastery Society. I'm Mike Allen, the host of the Life Mastery Society and the founder. It is with great pleasure that I introduce to you an amazing lady. She is an international matchmaker. She has featured on ITV and BBC. She's coached celebrities, she's coached CEOs on matchmaking, dating, etc. And I can't remember the other thing.
I'll tell you, don't worry.
Let me introduce you, Siobhan Copland. Before I go, please make sure your mobiles are on silent. And also, please give the speaker lots of energy. We always thrive off lots of energy and engagement. So please get involved. Thank you.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
How are you all feeling today?
Good. Yeah.
Good. I know it's mornings, I must say, I'm not much of a morning person myself. I tend to come more alive in the evenings. I don't know about you guys. But I'm glad that you made it here this morning. And obviously today, we're going to be talking about how to master certain areas in the life. And dating and relationships is an area that a lot of people struggle to master, regardless of how successful they are in other areas of their life. As Mike mentioned, I am a matchmaker. So how I would explain that is I'm basically responsible for being the kind of middleman in connecting people to one another. Yeah. So much like a recruitment consultant might be able to get you into a job, I get people into relationships. Okay. So have you actually had experience of ever using a matchmaking service? Yeah? Okay, great. Oh, right, more of you than I thought. That's like more than 50%. Okay, what was your experience of using a matchmaker?
Different. Yeah, it's obviously not organic.
Yeah.
Being mediated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, sorry, glad you could join us. I was just introducing myself. So I'm Siobhan Copland, and I'm a matchmaker and dating coach. And I was just asking the audience if you've had any experience using matchmakers. So you have. So it wasn't particularly organic. Do you understand the process of why you were kind of introduced and how it got to that point of the introduction?
So what they do is, what they do with me is they collate as much information, put it all together,
Yeah.
and see if there's a good fit, and then just it's a trial
and error sort of thing. Yeah. But it's based on you having a strong profile, I guess.
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay. And you two have also used a matchmaking service. And do you understand the process of how you got to get in front of that person and get on the date?
I mean, the service I used was very different. It was called speed dating.
Ah, speed dating. Okay, that's a different. Yeah, we'll talk about speed dating because that's something I do as well. It's quite fun. And I do recommend it actually as a way of just getting to meet people without necessarily there being too much emphasis or focus on, I've got to meet the one, you know. And how about you?
Yeah, I've actually been to a few speed dating events with some Indian singles UK.
Yes, okay, great.
I met quite a few nice people there, had some good conversations, and they have some icebreakers there which get people started with conversations.
Yes, absolutely.
Which is always good.
Mm-hmm.
I have a friend who met his wife at speed dating.
Oh, nice. That's a touch. Yeah, well, I think it's a bit of a lottery, the speed dating thing, because you don't know who's turning up. Even as organisers, to be honest, people start saying, well, who's coming? And I'm like, I actually don't know. Like, there's just the person that's booked a ticket, they've given a bit of information. Until the night, we don't know who to expect. So, it can be a bit hit and miss. So yes, there's different ways, obviously, in meeting someone. Now, it's all about the thing that has all in common is that you only get one chance to make a first impression, right? So whether or not that matchmaker is pitching you to their client and they look at your profile, it's either yes or no, right? So you need to make sure you have a strong profile. Speed dating, you've literally got 3 minutes to make a great impression. So that's a good example, because how long do you think it takes for someone to form an impression of you? Anyone else?
20.
5, okay. So it's scientifically proven that 7 seconds is how long it takes for someone to form an impression of you. So before you even speak, potentially, someone's already looked you up and down and sussed you out as far as they're concerned, yeah? So we as human beings are quite judgmental. Whether or not we like, oh, we don't like judgmental people, we're all judging all the time. See, it's part of our sort of psychological makeup. It's part of that whole fight and flight response that we are constantly judging situations, whether it's safe or not, you know, whether we should run away from it or go for it. Yeah, so it's the same thing. When you're meeting someone who you're potentially romantically interested in, you need to be able to make a really quick judgment on, first, is this person dangerous? Or also, is this person someone that I find attractive? Yeah, so you literally have 7 seconds. So what do you think a person can tell about you in 7 seconds?
Well, depending on what you're wearing, they can kind of gather what kind of interest you're in. So let's just use the extreme. Someone that's a girl, let's just say, there's no way where I can go and approach someone that's in that type of category. So
I like to say, Victoria here, you come across a little bit gothic to me. Are you quite into...
I'm in gothic. No.
What's that? You're not into gothic rock music, that kind of stuff?
It depends. Like, I'm very expressive. So
yeah.
Depends. The day you catch me, one day I'm very glamorous, the other day I wear colors.
Cool.
So it depends.
Okay. So would you feel intimidated to approach, is it Victoria?
Yeah.
no, I wouldn't be intimidated, but I wouldn't approach to pursue something.
Because you feel like you would have different interests and you wouldn't be compatible. Right, got you. Okay. So, but as she's explained there, she has got a certain attire today, but if you saw her on a different day, she might be all girly, all in pink, and then you might approach her, right? So you might have missed the opportunity to actually meet someone who you have got things in common with, but quite right, you've looked and you've made a quick judgment call. I mean, I saw a lady on the way here, and, you know, to some people she'd look quite scary. She had, like, you know, there was really spiky bags. So it's like, had the spike sticking out, so straight away it's almost like, don't come near me or I'll stab you. She had like bright pink hair. She had like, everything about her was just very out there, loud, like, so only a really confident guy could probably approach her. Or, like you say, maybe someone who's into the similar kind of style, who actually is like, she looks like a cool sort of cartoon character type of manga sort of character girl, you know, and not going to be for everybody, right? But yes, quite right. The way that someone's dressed is one of the things. So that's something before you speak straight away. So what would you wear? What do you think is like a good thing to wear for like a first date? A suit, okay.
I think that's a bit too formal.
All right, we'll come back to that.
Something that you feel comfortable in, that you just feel confident, it projects who you really are.
Yeah. Anyone else?
Yeah, I think it should be smart casual, depending on where you're taking the date.
Right, that's a good point as well. We'll come to for a first date as well, and how to plan a date as well. We can talk about that, okay? I think what you're wearing right now, I usually recommend people wear this sort of thing. It's part formal because you've got a shirt on, and you've probably got a blazer somewhere. Good. I like that combo for men. Shirt, blazer, jeans, shoes. Now, what woman does not look at a man's shoes? Do you look at a man's shoes? No? It's very common that women judge a man by his shoes. Yeah. It also depends on, it shows the type of man he is. Like, if he's wearing trainers, you're probably going to think he's quite a casual, cool guy. If he's wearing very shiny shoes or whatever, then you're probably going to think, I don't know, either you don't like them or he's a professional or whatever. So shoes actually do say quite a lot about your style, particularly for a man.
Is that depending on age? Because I hate shoes, but I will still rock a blazer and look good.
Yeah.
And I might wear a nice designer trainer.
It's also how you take care of your shoes. You see, if you've got like scruffy shoes, a woman will judge you on that, because she'll be like, he should take a bit of pride in at least his shoes, even if he's not going to be like making sure that he's the most stylish guy. But the shoes is probably the first thing you might notice. Imagine you're on the tube and everybody sat down, everyone's in front of you. You notice everybody's shoes, right? You notice whether or not someone's got some dry, crusty feet hanging over their flip-flops, or you notice, okay? But in terms of a first date, I would say what you're wearing, actually, you can pretty much do anything in that, yeah? Pretty much, right? You can go for a drink, you can go for something to eat, you could even go and maybe, I don't know, do an activity, like even walk around the park. Do you like a walk around the park for a first date?
Yeah, because that gives you the opportunity to talk. And like maybe that 7 seconds, someone gonna catch your attention, but for me, what someone says, that's more important.
Yeah. How about you? Would you like to be up for a walk in the park for a date? Because I think a lot of guys, you feel like to make that impression, you've got to do something extravagant and you've got to impress and you've got to do, you know, something extra special. I would say, actually, the focus on the first couple of dates should be on the quality of the conversation. It really shouldn't be dependent on whether you can take her to Nobu and get a £200 bill at the end of it. Yeah? Because then dating becomes very expensive, for one. And two, you know, it's always awkward, isn't it, when you're like, who splits the bill? When you've got a £250 food bill at the end. If you just go and grab a coffee, go for a walk around the park, maybe get a sandwich or something, it's a bit less, and I would definitely recommend that. So anyway, coming back to the first 7 seconds, we've got the dress. Okay, what else can we gauge from the first 7 seconds of interaction?
Body language, general body language.
Body language, yeah, exactly. So if a lady is stood at the bar and she's with a few friends, what would be body language that would indicate to you that there's an opening?
Her feet will be pointing outwards.
Outwards, okay. So would she be facing towards you?
She would not directly, but subtly. So she's basically giving that vibe of openness.
Yeah, okay, great. Any other ideas about what might make you feel comfortable to approach a woman at a bar?
Rather than them facing each other,
Yeah.
more, let's say, sitting in looking that one direction, or have more open position.
Yeah. Actually, ladies, would you mind getting up a second? So let's just say we are 3 girls at a bar for a night out, okay? We've each got our drink. Yeah, come over here, all right. So we're all here getting a drink. Sorry, haven't got you a drink. Have you got a drink? Do you want a drink? Yeah, get yourself a drink. You have? Okay, good. All right, so the bar's here. Oh, I thought she had some water there. Is that here? Sorry.
No, that's fine.
Well, we're chatting. She's gone to the loo. Okay. Anyway, so yeah. So how was your day, babe?
It was really good, thank you very much.
Yeah.
It was a really good seminar, you know?
Yeah, no, it was. It was good fun, wasn't it? Yeah, worth getting out of bed for, wasn't it? Yeah, I know. Yeah, I do agree. Oh, I tell you what, it's a nice bar, isn't it? Have you checked out any of the guys in here, actually?
I mean, I see some, but well, you know.
Okay. So I'm going to ask one of you guys to volunteer to come and approach one of us. Okay. Right. Okay, great. So maybe you be standing with a friend as well. That always works well because sometimes you can look a bit like a creep if you're, yeah. There's 2 guys. All right, you guys are having a couple of beers. You're standing around. Right. So we need to be kind of close together but engaged. But so out of all of us right now, who looks approachable?
You.
Me. Okay. Why is that?
Because you're facing outwards.
Right. Okay. So there's a tip. If you're out with girls that are in a relationship and you're the single one, where should you be stood?
In the middle.
Right. Yeah, because you want the attention to be on you, right? It's almost like the other girls are your sort of backup dancers and you're the main singer,
star,
right?
yeah.
Okay. So straight away. So let's swap. I'm not single, so you can go in the middle. Okay. So we're talking, we're chatting. Now, what's the way that would make us unapproachable if there were 2 guys stood there at the moment? How would we potentially be stood? Yeah. So what some girls tend to do is we're like this, yeah? We're all looking at each other. My back's turned. Your back, you're not able to look directly at anyone or make any eye contact, are you? And it's just us 3 all giggling and but no man, but tough crowd. So how is he going to be able to come over and now try and approach me? He's going to have to either tap me on my shoulder. What do you want? Yeah. Or so it's going to be very awkward. Yeah.
If this is an open space or is it a tight space? Because the truth is, it's happened before. And I do all the time.
Yeah.
If it's a little bump, that's a sign.
Oh, if you get like she bumps into you.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's like a rave type scenario, is it?
It's
Or
not even rape, but bar or could be a club. But
yeah.
more
Maybe it's a sign that she's had too much to drink.
No.
Or stay away.
Yeah, but what if someone is
Or she's aggressive. No, I'm joking.
bumps into you though? But no, but after.
Yeah.
It's gonna be that.
Yeah, I think we're talking about a typical scenario when you're not in a super crowded place, because I personally wouldn't actually encourage, if you're out on the pool, to go to a super crowded place anyway, because it's just not comfortable. Like, you want to be somewhere where you're able to relax, be comfortable, maybe have a good conversation. In that situation, yeah, you might have got the number, but I don't imagine you had a quality conversation in that environment. No, it's just like, yeah, what's your digits? I'm leaving. That's it. Like, and that's not necessarily conducive to the basis of a quality conversation. Yeah. So it's not quality engagement, exactly. So we're back to, okay, great. So we've got our little lineup. There's a little bit of an opening. So that's nice, isn't it? That's welcoming, yeah? Yeah, there's an opportunity to make some eye contact. So say, for example, we're still looking at each other, but we can still look out into the crowds. And I think that's what you want to do as well, is a lot of the time we're single, we go out of our friends and we just focus on our friends the whole night, and just like, we might as well just be sitting in our friend's house because we're not actually looking at what's out there. Like, and when you're single, you don't wait for a date or someone to message you on an app, or every time you're out, there are single people out too. And one of those people could be the guy or girl for you. So you have to be open to the opportunity of an interaction taking place. So let's say now it's going to approach you. So we're talking. Okay, so what do you think is a good way for you to come in, approach, that not only now are you leaving a good impression with Victoria, but us too, because we're friends and we're going to have something to say about you. Yeah. So, so I know that's tough, but let's give it a go. What would be your opening?
How you doing?
That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good.
That's 7 seconds, okay, already, yeah? But what was nice is a few things. Tell me actually, Victoria, what did you notice about him in those 7 seconds?
He moved like this, he smiled, and like his tone of voice was like soft, so he wasn't very aggressive, so that was a really smooth one.
Yeah, that was nice. He smiled, he was welcoming, he was friendly, and you know what else as well? He kept like a 4 feet space in between you. You see, what is annoying as a woman when a man is all up in your grill, just like, and you didn't invite him, you know, it's just too much. So you have to be aware of respecting a person's personal space as well. And obviously, as you feel more comfortable with one another, I'm sure he's going to start getting closer towards you, yeah? But he's keeping himself at a safe distance, but not at like too much of a distance, yeah? And it's like you say, it's not sort of offensive. He hasn't come over and gone, "You right, darling, nice tits." He's come over and just said something nice, and yeah? So that's good. That's a good start.
That doesn't work.
No, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. Okay, so brilliant. Okay, so now we're going to try you with an approach. Perhaps you'd like, what did you say your name was? Mariam. Okay, yep. So come over. So you're in the middle now. Okay, and you're with your friend, and then you're going to come over and approach, because you're not going to be standing apart from him. Yeah. No. First of all, I just want you to get into the comfortable space of you're with him. You've decided to come over.
How you doing? Yeah. How's your day?
So yeah, not bad crowd in here, is it? No, it's all right. Yeah. How's your cocktail? Good. Yeah. Hard day at work.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was quite busy. I had a lot of meetings today, so I'm just glad to be here relaxing with a drink now. Yeah.
I like your necklace.
Oh, thank you.
Suits you.
Thank you.
That's nice.
Wow.
Now, that was compliments. That's gonna make her smile, isn't it? Like, there's nothing that she can say about. She can't diss you for that at all. Yeah. You've given her a compliment, and what would you do following that compliment? How would you?
Maybe I'd say, where did you get it from?
Yeah, you could do. Okay, so let's just have that natural conversation then. So you like a necklace?
Where did you get that from?
So now, what you could say, now, if you ask me where you get it from, so because I've got a sister she really loves her jewellery as well, and it's her birthday coming up. I'd love to get her something unusual like that. Okay. Yeah, that's how I'd sort of say something like that, because otherwise she'd be like, what does the man care where I got necklace from? What, is he going to buy it for another woman or what? You know? Has he got a wife at home he wants to buy it for? So, because women are suspicious, yeah, and everything you say is going to be met with some form of suspicion, right or wrong. So, yeah, so that's good, the compliment. And then, what did you feel about that interview and came up to you with that compliment at first? How would you feel about that? Yeah. Yeah. Would you be happy to continue engaging with him based on that?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, great. Okay, well done, guys. Right, you can sit back down now. Brilliant. Well done. Round of applause for these guys. Okay, so good to do a bit of role playing, yeah, because I can sit here and talk to you all day long, but to actually put yourself in the situation, it definitely, I hope, helps you to see how you can make the most of creating that first impression. So you did really well there, as I said. Friendly, approachable, but ladies have to take responsibility for being open to start with.
Good question.
Yes.
None of them two acknowledge the friends.
Yeah.
Would you at some point acknowledge the friends?
that's a good point.
Rather than just...
Yes, you would, you're quite right. But where we were focusing on there was the first 7 seconds and the friend impression of this man coming into the group and not kind of coming across as intimidating or a threat to the group. And I think they were very non-threatening. So as a friend, I wouldn't be like, who's this creep coming over, you know? So that would be...
Oh, just a scenario. Alright, there's three women. If the one that I like, I would say, hey, you look good, let's just say. And I said, what brings all of you here? To bring everyone together.
Yeah.
And then I slowly direct my attention to you.
Yeah, that's good. Do you know what? That is a bit of an old trick in the book, is actually the one that you really like, you don't want to pay the most attention to when you pay attention to the friend. But that can backfire sometimes, because then she'll be like, what, do you fancy my mate? And then you couldn't get her and then you came to me. So you have to be quite careful. But what I would say is quite nice is, and do this during happy hour ideally, is, look, I'm just getting another drink. Can I get you ladies something to drink? That always works a charm, you know, when you're not just buying, because what women get the ump is when you buy her a drink and the other two friends are stood there with an empty glass and they're like, oh, if he was a gentleman, he would have offered us as well. So if you're happy hours, I'm saying, is because you get it like half price, so you don't have to spend a lot. You've got to watch the pennies as well, right? You don't want to like overstretch yourself. Where am I? Okay, so that's first impression, meeting out, which is great. Everybody, ideally, wants to meet someone when they're just out, naturally. I know women often fantasize about being down the shopping aisle, picking out some blueberries, and then this handsome stranger comes up and says, oh, you're getting the same blueberries as me. Let's make blueberry pancakes together. And they live happily ever after. But unfortunately, it doesn't always happen that way, right? Because most guys are not necessarily comfortable to approach you in a scenario. They want to feel like they're in the right surroundings to be able to do it, yeah? And bless him, like I have a friend the other day, he sent me a message and he was like, Siobhan, my dad took me to the chicken shop, yeah? I didn't want to go to the chicken shop, but I walked in and he was like, this girl in there, he was like, no word of a lie. Like, she was totally natural, she had no makeup on, she had her hair up in a ponytail. I'm thinking, this girl will have no idea, like, how she blew this guy's mind, yeah, because she just came out house simple, like not even trying to impress. And he was like, she literally, like, he was like, my heart skipped a beat. He was like, and she smiled at me and he went, I literally felt my legs going to jelly. And he was just explaining the whole scenario to me, yeah. And he was like, I was just waiting for that moment. My ticket was coming and I was thinking, shall I just get my ticket and go? Or shall I like ask her for a number or whatever? And then the whole scenario played out and he's not stopped thinking about this girl for days. And he's like, you know, maybe I should go back there the same time again. I mean, this is how some guys think. Like, we think that guys are not, like, sensitive to these things, but honestly, it takes so much courage when a guy does see you and he thinks, wow, like, it throws him a lot of the time. He's not prepared because he's not thinking that he's going to see the woman of his dreams, and then he realises he's got, like, a split second to make a decision. to fight or flight, you know, like what to do. So that's why we as women actually are the ones that really take the lead with it. We have to give certain signals off to make that man feel like, yeah, you know what, I think she wants me to talk to her, right or wrong. Do you feel most confident when you feel like are you looking for the signals when you see a woman you like?
If you're looking at you a few times.
Right.
If you don't look at you a few times, then it's difficult to judge. But the moment she's looking at you,
you start thinking, okay, I can start to, yeah. What else do you see? What else is a signal that you would look out for? Keep looking at you, smiling, yeah.
Eye contact.
Eye contact, yeah. And I don't know about you, but I personally, if I do see someone I really fancy, I find it really hard to give eye contact. I just suddenly become like this bashful mess and I can't even look. And I think a lot of us are like that, but just even if you just look a couple of times, even if it is in a bashful way, I think that does give a guy a bit of a thing. Another thing that I give a tip to ladies is men always like a woman who's a bit of a, let's say, damsel in distress scenario, yeah? Not like a woman that's got a whole bunch of problems and just like can't control herself or her life, but she could do with a bit of help, you know? There was a Victorian tradition, before we had apps and everything, Victorian ladies used to drop their handkerchiefs on the floor, and that was their way to get men to speak to them. Because the guy would obviously run behind her, pick up the hanky, oh, here you go, darling. Oh, thank you very much.
Now you've got your iPad.
Yeah, right. But then you crack your screen and you're screwed. So, unless you have a really good screen protector. But yes, you could do something that's a modern day version of that, because we're not going to carry a handkerchief now. But it could be something like, okay, even Michael earlier, I had to ask for his help. I genuinely couldn't work out the machine to get my hot water out. And of course, he stepped in straight away because men like to be handy. They like to feel needed, yeah? So he was like, I'll do it. And he poured the water for me. Thank you very much. It gives you an opportunity to show some gratitude, and it gives that man the opportunity. So it could be something like, you're taking your coat off. Oh, do you know where I can leave my coat? It could be something like if you're in a bar, yeah? Oh, have you seen where the ladies' toilets are? Or just something, you know, have you got the time? Although now we find it hard to ask for the time because we've got it on our phones and everything, but you could ask for the time. Directions, that's always a good one because you literally lost. You're like, oh, sorry, I'm trying to use Google Maps, but I'm really just trying to find this place and I'm really, really late. Do you know where it is? Could you help me find it? Sometimes they may even walk you there, you know, and then you've got a great opportunity to strike up a conversation, and he feels great because he's like, oh, I've helped Hero for the day, and you feel great because you've had a man that supported you and, you know, given you that sort of assistance. So ladies, definitely use as opportunities, yeah? Don't be like, I've got to be Miss Strong Independent all the time. That little bit of vulnerability is really what's going to get that emotional connection. There are actually 36 questions that are psychologically proven to help people fall in love. And the questions I actually use as part of my matchmaking process. And I have to get on my Wi-Fi to do it. But what I want to do is a little exercise with you guys. Now, obviously, I know we've only got 2 ladies and we've got more guys. But if anybody would like to volunteer, I would like you to ask each other some of these questions. And I'm not expecting you're going to fall in love, but I just want to use it as an exercise for you to feel like perhaps at least you feel that there's a bit of an emotional connection there. So who would like to volunteer for these questions? Yeah, lovely. Lady? Toya or Mariam? Yeah? Great. Okay. So. Right. Okay. So, the first question is, if you could, so I want you to face each other, sorry. So actually, we'll do this so that you can, if you wouldn't mind if I can just move, I'll just take a couple of chairs. Thank you. See, he's being helpful. Appreciate that. So the first question I want to ask is, if you could invite anyone in the world to dinner, who would it be?
I would say Sadhguru, because he's very spiritual and he just helps you to really connect with who you are. And I really appreciate that about someone.
Okay.
And for you?
Okay. For me, that first name came to my mind. Tony Robbins. It's my, how to say that, impacted my life in a really big way, and such a knowledgeable and powerful guy.
Actually, he was the first that came in my mind. I was like, I want to do that group. Yeah, like, yeah.
Would you like to be famous? And if so, in what way? Your look of disgust there said.
I go
You go first, yeah. Ladies first. We'll do
So,
this.
if I would be famous, one of my missions in life is to transform 1 billion people's lives by 2028 and create self-love, because I specialize in self-love. I really want to help people to be in love with who they are before they are in love with someone else. Yeah, that's what I want to be famous for. Thank you.
Yeah, I personally don't have a big need to be famous, let's say. But if I was to be famous, it would be something similar to you, by impacting people's lives in a positive way, in some way.
Lovely. Before making a telephone call, do you ever rehearse what you're going to say and why?
Before
Making a phone call
to who?
to anyone?
Not really. I just go with how I feel like, and I go with it, and that's it. I don't really prepare for it.
Okay. Well, I do. I like to make my phone calls short to the point and don't flap around for a long time.
Excellent. What would you constitute as a perfect day?
Perfect day. Is it like alone somewhere or spending perfect day? The first thing that would come up in my head is, let's say, go camping and then horse riding in the mountains. That would be really cool. And then we, like, at night time camping with like the fire, and also like just have conversation there with someone, look at the fire and really talk about spirituality and maybe get high too. But that's
This is a girl after my own heart.
You don't start the day.
Thursday.
Perfect day, just a day, yeah.
Okay. For me, it would be something along that, something like getting up early, doing my morning exercise, meditation, my morning routine, good cold shower, and getting on with whatever things I have to do, which are important to me, that take me close. And then once I've had this productive day, I'll then spend it with someone I enjoy spending time with. Maybe I will also read some book, or listen to audiobook, and maybe do some activity that I enjoy doing.
This sounds like a regular day.
Yeah, that's going to be that.
This doesn't sound like your everyday day.
I not going down.
Every day is perfect for you then. There we go. When did you last sing to yourself, to someone else?
When did I do
Oh, when did you last sing to yourself?
sing to myself? This morning.
Oh, great. What did you sing?
So basically, like sometimes I'm very expressive. So for me, one of the ways to express who I am is I just started with the recorder and I started with this and I sing like a company and it always
Awesome.
makes sense. It always helps me to release.
Actually, I also, I didn't sing. For some reason, I was listening there in the kitchen.
Okay.
I don't remember what was the tune. It was some tune from the 60s or something.
Okay.
Or whatever reason that came from.
Contribute something?
Yeah.
I've started this new routine. Every day at work, like I go to work, I listen to a podcast.
Yeah.
As soon as I get off tube, I've got my favourite song.
Mm.
When I walk to work, it's like a 5-minute walk. And I've been doing this for the last 3 weeks, every single day. So I get to work and I'm like, you know.
Yeah.
This is my favourite song.
I think music is so therapeutic. It's the same for me. I've started playing music when I'm just doing the housework. And I just feel so much more like I've got a spring in my step, you know, because sometimes it can be so mundane, can't it? Like cleaning and tidying and everything. And when you've got the tunes on, you can sort of just dance around. It's just so much more fun. If you were able to live to the age of 90 and retain either the mind or body of a 30-year-old for the last 60 years of your life, okay, and retain either the mind or body of a 30-year-old for the last 60 years of your life, which would you want?
I got confused.
So if you're 90 years old,
Yeah,
and you have another 60 years to live, apparently, which is like amazing. I don't know anyone that lives that long. But if you either could have the mind or a body of a 30-year-old, what would you choose?
It depends on how conscious is the 30-year-old person.
Yeah.
For me. But like, if the mind is not as conscious as 30 years old, or they are not awake or they are not they want to make the world better, I would go with the body. But I would always prefer the mind first. But it would be a good thing to have like a 30-year-old body. And it depends how you take care of it.
Can I have both? I mean, I'm just thinking that health impacts your life in such a way that even if you are the sharpest mind out there, your body doesn't work, you will suffer. So I think I would pick body.
Yeah.
Depends what you mean, mind. But,
Sharp mind. But yeah, you could be 90 and still have a sharp mind, couldn't you?
Yeah, I think I would pick body.
Now, this is a bit of a dark one. Do you have a secret hunch about how you'll die?
So how I would like that.
Do you have a secret hunch? Like, do you have a feeling about, I'm going to end up dying like this?
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know, some people said it should be quick. But I don't know. Maybe in my sleep, I would say, because I wouldn't remember. But maybe I would be asleep and I would feel it more, so I'm not quiet for. Or we are horse riding.
How?
Like I would horse ride and I would like fell off and I would die. Like that's it.
Good, tell her and Louise.
Maybe we should into the heart because that's quick.
Okay. I mean, the way I wouldn't like to die is the long and suffering way. If I could choose, I would probably jump off the plane, skydiving without this way I would have a still exciting time. Boom.
Brilliant. Okay, name 3 things that you and your partner would have in common.
I mean, you and your ideal partner? Or?
You and your partner, like, yeah. So, yeah, your ideal partner, I guess, yeah.
Very honest and authentic communication, number 1. Number always fulfilling the other person's needs. Because when you fulfill the other person's needs, the relationship can work.
Okay. For me, it would be definitely connection, honesty, and chemistry, whatever way you want to describe it.
Yeah. For what in life do you feel most grateful?
Most grateful. It's for me. It's a very interesting moment because when I love someone, I just love to like stare at them and just like be amazed by them. It's a weird habit of mine, but I just do that, and it's like kind of.
Yeah. No.
For me, that's when I will be most grateful.
Yeah. But presently, at the moment, what do you? Yeah.
Right now. When every time I remember how much my mom loves me unconditionally, and she has never beaten me out. She would never shout at me. She would be very patient with me. I'm just very grateful for that.
Lovely.
For me, I mean, it may sound cliche or whatever. I'm grateful for being alive. Every day I wake up, I say my gratitude, being thankful for waking up, for being alive, in good health, and I'm grateful every day. For.
Great. If you could change anything about the way you were raised, what would that be?
You mean if I could change some of the behavior?
Just change anything about your upbringing. What would it be?
Ooh, I mean, I wouldn't change it from a perspective that I wouldn't be the person I'm today, and I wouldn't have learned the things I have learned away, but I would, because I would have a completely different life, and maybe I wouldn't have met with certain people, or if you change something for your life completely changes. But if I would have to, I would say maybe I wish my dad would have been more in love with who he is, so he would being able to give more love to me, I think.
That's a very nice, honest, vulnerable answer. That's good.
In my case, it would be also something to do with my parents. Probably more with my father as well. So, for example, with my kids in the future, I'll try to be different father than my father was with me. More present, more caring, or spending more time, valuable time.
Beautiful, thank you. So now, this one is a 4-minute exercise to tell, but I think we'll cut it to 3 minutes, so like a speed dating scenario. To tell the person in front of you your life story in as much detail as possible.
Ooh, okay, I'm quite good at that. So I can say I'm a very honest person. So my superpower includes I'm very intuitive. So I don't say how people are and how to say things to them. But one of my best skills is that you can ask me anything and I will answer you how it is. And when I say my opinion, it's more of what's in my head. It's not negative or positive. I have been raised up in Hungary. I have been married once. I went through depression. I went through rape. I went through losing friends. I have lost myself many times. And one of the reasons I haven't forgotten why I'm here today is because when I lost my guitar, I was looking at the ceiling and I was wondering, when I'm going to be standing on a stage because if I didn't give up, other people won't give up with me. I believe your whole entire life is really about serving others. And you can only be wealthy when you do that. I would say but that's why I put lots of pictures of my story, because it doesn't matter what happened, more of what you choose to be right now. I try to put it
Beautiful,
together.
yeah. Lovely. Yeah. Are you fit? You can. Yeah. Okay. Great. Your turn. Thank you.
Right, my life story won't be 3 minutes long, I believe. But, well, I like to remember my childhood as positive, even though, of course, we didn't have everything that we thought we needed. But now looking back, I think we had everything we needed, not everything we wanted. So I remember my childhood as being happy childhood, playing football, spending time outdoors, getting good grades at school, and then choosing my university course, which was the wrong choice. It put me in my first depression in my life, so I was miserable for 2 years. And then eventually I graduated from that university, but I was still unhappy, so I was looking for answers in my life, and that's how I came here to England to find answers in my life. And answers didn't come, and I got depressed again. I was waiting and waiting. I could see life passing by, nothing changing in my life. And it was until I accepted that it may take longer for then I became happier and happier in my life. And yeah, personal development definitely helped me with putting my life on the track that I wanted to go. And I'm still on that track. That's one of my biggest passions. And yeah, I like myself, think of myself as being honest, genuine, and speaking things the way they are, the way I see them, and being true to yourself. And I have to help others whenever I am able to help them. And I try to live my life according to my values and beliefs, without harming others, and trying to become the best version of myself.
Beautiful. Thank you both so much for sharing that with us. So. Okay, there are actually more questions. Do you mind? Okay, good. If you could wake up tomorrow having gained one ability or quality, what would it be? By the way, guys, you should be making notes of these questions because these are good questions to ask on dates as well.
Whatever they have that massive consistency that successful people talk about, because I have these phases where everything is for a month good, and then I go back and I'm it always makes me feel like I'm not a normal human being when it's part of life. So probably have that strength without practicing it every day to having it. So for me, consistency, probably.
Mm-hmm.
I could use some of that as well.
Yeah.
The quality I would like to gain, which is kind of related to consistency, is which helps in life and business, is action taking, immediate action taking, and seeing that action through to the end. Not just starting something, but also seeing it to the end, the completion of the task, of the activity, challenge. So taking action and getting it done.
Excellent. If you could look at a crystal ball to tell you anything about your future, what would it be? What would you want to know?
The future depends on what action I take in this moment, but let's see. Okay, so what do I want? Maybe I want it to tell me about if I have met with that person, or if this is the last lifetime when I'm gonna, if it doesn't exist. But I kind of lost the faith in this person, but I really want to regain it because I feel like it's close, but it just feels, well, I don't know.
I'm not sure if I would like to see in this crystal ball.
Yeah.
So the question is what I would like to see, or
Yeah, what you want to know.
that's a very difficult question.
I think you're going to leave the ball. Just let it go. Right.
I'll prefer not to look at
Yeah.
the crystal ball.
Okay. I'm going to open up some of these questions to the rest of the audience as well, because I want to also get an emotional connection among the whole crowd. So is there something that you've dreamed of doing for a long time, and why haven't you done it? I'm going to ask a question to you.
I'm in the process of doing it, hopefully. I wanted to become a screenwriter.
Oh.
So I've not pursued that all my life, and in the last year or so, that's what I want to do.
Excellent.
Thank you, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'd love to do that. I don't know if it's possible, but, why the hell not?
Why not? Why not? Okay, and what is the greatest accomplishment of your life, Miriam?
When I've been graduating next year, I'll be on business management. I did something very beautiful with someone. I worked for 5 years doing degree online. We've been working, and it was 5 when I finished it.
Oh, fantastic. Well done. What was the degree in? Business management. Great. I'm going to ask, what do you value most in a friendship?
One or
It can be as many as you like, yeah? What do you value most?
Integrity, trust, commitment, love.
Nice. Yeah, that's quite a long list. That's a good list, though, yeah. I'm going to ask you at the back, what is your most treasured memory? Just something that springs to mind and you really treasure this particular memory. It gives sentimental value to you. Okay, should we come back? You both, what is your most treasured memory?
For me, I think one of my favorites of all the time, and it's never going to change, is when I lay on the bed, someone strokes my face, and I'm funny.
Just like a cat, basically.
Yeah,
Just easily please. Just stroke me, give me lots of affection, I'm happy. Excellent. And for you?
I'm not sure I can think of one specific memory, but lately this memory came to my mind of actually my family holiday back when I was 6, 7 years old. When we would go to the lakeside and have a picnic. And just a simple thing, just a picnic, sunshine, running around.
I was thinking that family holidays is always quite a nice early memories, isn't it, for a lot of us? Okay, I'm going to ask you in the middle. I'm forgetting everybody's names. We should have name tags on. What is, if you knew that you were going to die a year from now, was there anything about your life that you would change?
to be more impulsive.
Seize the day. Yeah, excellent. Okay, right, I think you've both done a tremendous job. I'll send the link over to Mike as well, because it will take us all day to go for all 36. So thank you both so much for being so great participating in that exercise. Okay. Okay, so that was great. Have you been on dates and thought of asking those kind of questions?
I always do.
Do you? Yeah. So you're a deep one, aren't you? Yeah. Yeah, but that's good.
Backup questions sometimes, just in case the conversation dies.
Yeah. But did you feel like you really were getting to know her quite well through those questions?
Yeah. These were actually interesting.
Yeah.
So, where did you grow up? How many siblings you have? Blah blah blah.
Exactly. Because that's the thing, like when you even go to a speed dating, I'm pretty sure are just like, what do you do for a job? You know, yeah, tell me some of the questions that people ask you at speed dating, or what you typically might ask.
Just like, what do you do for a living? You know, what are your hobbies and interests? What do you like doing in your spare time? Things like that.
Yeah. So what do you think, actually, I'm just going to write a word on the board. What do you think is the questions that you're asking? What are you trying to actually gauge from the questions that you're asking? What are you trying to understand about a person?
Them type of questions to understand what type of level you are.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, status. Oh, those questions. Sorry.
Well, if you ask what you do,
I'll do it hour and a half.
If you ask what you do, you're trying to figure out is where they are.
And I think it's also about the intention. So, like, why are you on a date? Are you there to figure out more about yourself, or are you there to see more about learning a different story about someone?
See, one of the things that I think a lot of people fail to establish when they're first meeting someone is the most important thing, which I think is what's going to actually keep you in a relationship. Yeah? The questions that we ask that are very superficial based about what do you do for a living, most of us are not actually doing a job because we're passionate about it, because we're making our contribution to the world through it. Like, we're just paying bills, yeah, because that's the way the world kind of has it set up, that we have to just go to work to pay bills a lot of time. Like, you would be doing your screenwriting right now, but you haven't gone and done it because you had to have security of having a job that pays the bills, right? If it meant that you could just do it and either way you were going to land on your feet, get paid, you'd probably have done it by now, right? So a lot of the time, you know, we have to take risk in life, but a lot of the time we don't. Most of us are just kind of just surviving, not thriving.
You're scared of it, doing something.
Yeah, sometimes we're scared of failure. We're scared of, you know, not being good enough. You know, even when you explained it then, it was almost like there was definitely doubt. You haven't got that full confidence yet. You're like, well, maybe, maybe not. Maybe I'm good enough, maybe I'm not. Absolutely you are. But it's having that level of self-confidence. So this is one of the things as well that has to be really conveyed in a date, is it's more important than how you look. It is confidence. When you see somebody coming up to you, I mean, look, I don't have a perfect smile, but I smile at people, yeah, because that's an impression. Everybody sees two things when they first see you, your eyes and your smile. So making that eye contact and smiling in seconds, and it also conveys a level of confidence. When you see someone in front of you that can't keep eye contact with you, what do you think about that person?
You don't trust them.
You don't trust them. They're not confident. They're a bit nervous, or, you know, so, but when someone's able to maintain, and there's a difference, right, between maintaining eye contact and staring. Staring is creepy. You don't want to stare, right? Unless in your case where you're lying down, staring into his eyes, okay, that's different. But standing and staring is creepy, regardless of how you look or who you are, right? So what do you think is how do you think it's best to make eye contact with someone across the room? Like, how many seconds would you say is a good amount of time to hold it?
Generally 3 seconds that people can hold that. If it's
Yeah.
longer, you start to
Yeah, right, exactly. They're just literally staring you out right through you. So 3 seconds. So you want to convey a certain level of confidence. You want to also be presentable. Like, when you're going on a job interview, you're not going to turn up looking scruffy, right? But when you're going out and about, every day is a job interview when it comes to dating. It's not just when you get on the date. Every day you're out, you step out your house, is a chance that you're going to meet that person that you end up with. And they may talk to you or not, depending on how you dress. Like you said earlier, you might not approach someone who's a goth because you don't connect with the way they dress or whatever, but that could just be one day, okay? But in generally speaking, a person will always be more successful in life when they dress well and they take pride in their appearance. And I know it sounds like it's a bit of a shallow, superficial thing, but we have to understand how the world works, and that is really how it works. So being presentable, conveying a certain level of confidence, the tone in which you speak. So earlier on we spoke about your tone. You said it was actually quite gentle. It was quite, so that's important, you know, the way that you actually speak. There's a thing called mirroring, yeah? So mirroring is really important. It's a tactic that's used in sales a lot as well. I don't think I'm actually spelling it right, but never mind. So mirroring, can you give me an example of how you would mirror someone? So if okay, yeah, show me.
So if, let's just say you lean back, I will then lean back.
Yeah.
Forward, I will lean forward like that. It's just, you do movement and then I will mirror that. So if you come closer, then I will come closer, you come back, and I'll go back.
Yeah. And again, there's extremes. Like once I got stalked home by this guy who was freaking me out to the point I actually told him I'll stick my foot up his ass. Because he basically walked out the station. He was clearly following me. So what he did is I realised that he was following me. So I pulled out my phone and then I stopped and I checked my phone. And then he stopped in his tracks, checked his phone. And I was like, all right, let's try this again. I carried on walking. I was like, I'm going to just go and pretend that I've got to tie my shoelace. Bent down. What did he do? Stop, tie the shoelace. I was like, no, this guy's taking the mickey now. Carried on walking, and it just carried on like that to the point I went, right, I know what you're up to. So you don't want to end up being that person either. No. He was just clearly like, I think he was going to end up attacking me down a dark alley or something, and I just literally just switched, and I was like, this is not happening. Yeah, so mirroring is good when it's subtle, So once again, if you're sitting opposite someone and you see that their legs are in a certain way, then you will lean in similarly to them. You know, if the person is, see, I'm speaking fast right now, yeah? If I get on a sales call and someone is on the phone going, hi, how are you? I'm fine. And I'm going, hi, how are you? Have a nice day. Oh, great. I'm an annoyance to that person straight away, yeah. So actually being able to mirror a person's tone is actually quite good. So try to kind of understand the pace and try to kind of be on that same wavelength and that same pace. Because, yeah, what you're looking to do is obviously connect with someone on a similar energy level to you, yeah. We don't like people that are totally different to us. I know they say opposites attract, but the truth of the matter is we're more attracted to people who we can see ourselves in.
So how much can you be different from others? Because I believe in your values need to be exactly the same.
Yes.
Otherwise.
Yeah.
Because that's what I always get in, not an argument, but like people disagree with that. So on what parts do you have to both be different so both of you can challenge each other and so on?
So I think that actually it's always a nice dynamic of a relationship where the person balances you out. So it's about finding balance. So you have to find some similarities, but that person, like, if you're both, like, I don't know, boring, that's not going to work, right? Somebody boring wants someone a bit more exciting in their life to make their life a bit more exciting, yeah? So it's a similar thing. Like, I'm very, like, my partner is super chilled, and I'm not. But it works because he balances me out. When I'm getting stressy about things, he always has a calming effect on me. And so I recognize that works. Just thinking of some other couples that I know, again, it's like the women always tend to be more fun and the men are usually more mellow. That tends to work quite well. Okay. Yeah, that's the good dynamic. And again, the guys that are really loud and alpha, they tend to prefer the women that are quieter and just a bit more like just chilled and homely, and do you know what I mean? So it can't be like a power struggle. It can't be like where you're both trying to hog the limelight. There's only going to be one in the limelight and the other one is a supporting act. That's how it goes, if that makes sense to you. Yeah? Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so we've got the mirroring, okay. We've got the, what else haven't I covered? Because I've only got, how long have I got, Mike?
5 minutes.
5 minutes. Well, then I'll use this opportunity for anybody to ask me any questions based on the fact that, I say, I've matched thousands of people, coached hundreds. So if you have any questions dating related.
What is the main key element that helps to find the perfect man?
Main key element helps.
So what is the final task? Because there's like 5. But what is the final one that really makes that?
I'm not sure I completely understand your question, but I would say it's all about your mindset at the time. I mean, I have been in situations where I have tried to introduce someone to who appears to be perfect for them, but that person, because of their own level of confidence, can't even sort of accept that this person would want to be with them, you know? And I think sometimes what we end up doing is almost like settling for less than what we know we're capable of getting because it feels safer, rather than actually saying, you know what, no, I'm going to wait it out until I find the person who really is compatible with me because that's what I deserve. So I think you have to be at a point of, and it's not like an arrogance, because what I hate is when, you know, I have people come to me and go, literally had an email yesterday of a guy saying to me, basically, I just want to sum it up, I want a woman that looks like Miss World with the brains of Albert Einstein, you know. And I'm like, dude, what planet are you on? Like, do you look like Mr. World? So I think that's the thing. It's about, you know, if you're asking for something, don't have it be because it's what you lack. Because you have this sort of deficit of, you know, this person has to be better than you, or so that your social status is higher, or, you know, I think what we all want essentially is someone who's an equal partner. And it's how two people are able to support a relationship. What I say to everybody is it's not about looking for what you can get, but actually looking for what you can give. So always look for the opportunity of what can you offer and give. And it's a two-way street, isn't it? Sorry.
I wanted to ask, so for example, there is like a level that I'm looking for, but I believe I need to be that person. But also my thing is, how can I date with high-valued men at a high-quality level? Like, that's my thing. But sometimes when someone appears to be my type, I completely turn into like this person. I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, they are so pretty, and I'm like, but sometimes, how can you put yourself out in the practice? Like, where is the right place?
Where is the right place? And this is the thing. I don't think that you're about where to meet these people, like where to go, or.
It's more of like, how can you practice you really be in that state where you're like, this is what I deserve, and also what is the place you can meet with those people?
Okay.
So it's like two questions in one.
Yeah. So I think the place to meet the people, there's no such one place. I think they can be on the tube, you know, they could be anywhere. So for me, as I say, it's always about being in that prepared mindset. You know, it's like, for example, my friend runs a restaurant and was like, oh, we're having this, you know, big check, where they're coming around to check that everything's top notch. We want to get top points and da-da-da-da-da. And I'm so nervous about this day. And I said, every day should be that day. Like, you don't just be your best when you know that someone's coming to test you. Like, you should try to be your best every day, because any day could be that day where that person turns up to test you. And it's the same thing, like, when it comes to meeting someone. Don't just wait for the time when you think, oh, I'm going to the Nobu restaurant tonight. I might meet that rich, handsome guy. Like, that rich, handsome guy could be riding his bike and nearly knock you over and say sorry, and then you're ready, oh, it's okay, you know. So you just don't know when it's going to be. So I think that's the thing. Like, when we're single for so long, sometimes we just stop making the effort until we're asked to show up for an occasion. And there is no such occasion. He could be picking up blueberries. He could be, you know. So, and in terms of high value, I think it's about, you know, as long as you know yourself and you know what you have to offer, someone is not going to expect you to be the perfect person, because nobody is. Like, your entire life should be about constantly evolving and growing, as long as somebody is willing to share that journey with you. But I think as well, sometimes we can overshare, especially as women. We're a little bit guilty of that. We overshare and we make ourselves too available too quickly. So as soon as we see someone who we think ticks our boxes, suddenly it's like the expectation is there and the demand is there, because as far as we're concerned, they don't even know, but we've told there's no one else in the picture. We're just focusing on this guy, and suddenly we've got expectations of him. Why not instead say, oh, I've met someone nice, that's nice, I'll park that up, but I'm still available to other people because he hasn't asked me to come off the market, you know. So I think this is where we go wrong, and then we get hurt when we go, oh, but, you know, he used me. No, he was getting to know you, and he decided that you wasn't the person that was a fit for him. Move on, that's it, you know. And you know, as harsh as that sounds, I mean, there's one fact I read this morning, which I'll leave you with today, is that if 99% of the world don't fancy you, there's still another 775 million that will. And that is all for me for now, okay. Huh?
Put your offer on the board.
Oh, I don't want to put my offer, okay, I meant to put an offer on the board. I'm not going to put an offer on the board per se, but I will, or you want me to put it on the board, Mike? Shall I? Yeah, I can't remember what the whole thing is now. You've got it written down. Can you send an email out? Sure. The offer is a combination of things. So one is to be on my matchmaking network. So with have my high value matchmaking clients that are looking for introductions. So you can be listed on that, have a profile. I'll help sure, like I say, you get the first last impression, okay? You only get one first impression, and want it to be one that's last and memorable, and of course, making you appear as much for catch as possible, okay? So we'll do that. Also, you can get some photos done with it as well. So photos are very important. We didn't even get to touch on online dating, but we all know that, you know, a lot of you probably are online dating, and it's very visual based. So whether you're online dating or someone's first seeing your profile with a picture, they're going to say yes or no with that. So we include that as part of the package as well. A 1 hour coaching session with me as well to really look at all of your current dating challenges that you want to overcome, as well as being able to come to my events regularly as well. So I am doing a very special offer for members of LSM. I always get the LMS. I always get the letters back to front. Even when I did a discount code, I did it wrong. Sorry, I think I'm a bit dyslexic. So yes, there's a discount available. So do contact Mike for the pricing and everything. Yeah, I think we literally said like something silly like $250, didn't we? It was cheap as chips. Yeah. All right, cool. Well, thanks for having me, guys, and enjoy the rest of the day. All right.
Thank you, Siobhan.
Okay.
All right, thank you to Siobhan. Round of applause to Siobhan. Thank you. Okay, guys, so I do know Siobhan's numbers, so I'm going to put them on the floor. Okay, so I don't know what she just explained. She's in that, so hopefully that's in your head. But she normally sells that for £500. Okay, she's doing an at-event special for an amazing 250. Okay, which is super cool. If you're a member, you can have that for £200. So if you're a Life Mastery Society member, you can have that for £200. Okay, if you're not, so this is guests, this is members. If you are a member and buy today, you can have it for 180. Okay, members today, guests today. That you have 3 months expiry on for members. You can, yes.
How long does the membership last for?
It's a monthly membership, so it's the Life Mastery Society membership I'm talking about.
Okay.
So if you are a member, which you are,
Which I am, yeah.
you can have this price today,
Yeah.
or you can have this price within the next 3 months.
Okay.
Okay, anyone who's not a member can have it for this price here, so that's guests.
Yeah.
If you become a member today, I'll refund your tickets. So therefore you became a member before you walked in the door, okay? Cool. So